Let me tell you about how having a good personality gets you indoors, okay? So I've already registered my nephew. He got his pass. We standing outside so he could get an Uber to go hang out with his friends. You know, it's the holidays, so he got to go to his little Christmas party or whatever. And we see a Corvette pull up outside of the hotel. He's looking, I'm looking, and I can tell that this man that gets out of this car is into tech by looking at his pants. Pin that. So the gentleman hands the valet his keys and he walks inside, and I tell my nephew, I said, you know, he works in tech, right? He was like, he does? I said, yeah. I said, I can tell who works in tech. And so he was like, oh, okay. So you can see the wheels turning. So my nephew gets into his Uber and he goes about his business. So I walk inside and I go back down to the registration area and I see the gentleman. So I said, my nephew and I were standing outside, and when you pulled up, he was staring your car down. He starts laughing. And so I said, you know, he works in tech, right? And so he laughs and goes, how you know I work in tech? I said, I could tell by how tight your pants are. And he just starts laughing. So he's like, well, where's your nephew now? And I said, you know, he went to go hang out with his friends. He said, well, when he's here tomorrow, I want to meet him. Okay. I said, okay, cool. So I see this gentleman, you know, the next day, and I point out my nephew to him, and he's like, hey, at the end of this keynote, I want to talk to you. So he's like, all right, cool. He goes to talk to my nephew. I don't know what's going on. At this point, I'm working. And he takes my nephew to the Career Expo floor. Takes my nephew to the Career Expo floor to an exhibitor. I'm not sure which one. And that exhibitor actually says, we will sponsor your clearance. All because I told him his pants were tight. And I just want to give a shout out to Mateo for taking my joke in jest and truly understanding that I was just trying to break the ice and not being, you know, uptight, and taking my nephew, someone you don't even know me, and taking him to the table because you said yourself you wish you had a mentor to tell you about tech and to guide you, because you would have been a multimillionaire by now if you had someone to tell you the things that you know now at that age. So I want to say first, thank you to Mateo. Secondly, thank you to Simone, because Simone, the reason why I ran into Mateo was because of you. And I just want to say that's what the energy was like the entire weekend of GovTechCon 2024, which was held in Arlington, Virginia at the Hyatt Regency. Chose Bella. My recap is going to be a little different, and that's simply because I was not an attendee. So I'm going to be able to give you some information, throw in some interviews that I was able to conduct, and then tell you, you know, my experience about working with Simone. I'm just going to tell you now, you're not even going to have to wait for that point. It was great. She is amazing. Her team is amazing. And I'm not just saying that. You can click the hashtag GovTechCon on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, and you can see the amazing things that everybody that attended had to say. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Wednesday, December 17th was the registration day with the opening mixer. So she had the registration at the hotel that she had the conference at, which was the Hyatt Regency in Arlington, Virginia. And when you walked in the doors, there were greeters, right at the door in the Simone blue hue is what I say. And it was this color blue shirts that they had on. You could not miss any volunteers and or workers because they had the blue shirts on that said GovTechCon. When you came in, you were greeted by beautiful faces with beautiful personalities, and they told you where to go for registration. You went down 2 floors, and there was a row of about 15 to 20 workers who were able to check you in. Separate line, of course, for VIP attendees. VIP attendees did get a swag bag, okay? And in that swag bag, they definitely had this. They had cups. They had some other things, but and of course the bag. But I only walked away with this because I didn't need anything else. But I do love me a good journal. I haven't heard any complaints about the check-in process simply because they were overstaffed, which is an amazing thing, right? So later that evening, everybody went over to Don Tito's, which was also in Arlington, Virginia. It was about 15 minutes away from the Host Hotel. And that wasn't a big issue for me because I'm local, so I just drove right over there, found parking, and went in. So she had 2 different floors in Don Tito's. The second floor was for general admission, and then the third floor was for VIP. She did have 2 DJs, one on each floor. And shout out to Ashley. Ashley was going back and forth, floor to floor, hosting herself, right? So on the third floor, VIP did have dinner, and they did have open bar from 7 to 9. With that being said, already day one, you're getting comps from being VIP. Okay, so everybody had a good time. Everybody stayed for, a very long time actually, and getting to know people, getting to know the sponsors who were there, who came in, and just networking straight out the gate. I met some wonderful people that night. They had no idea I was the host, which doesn't really make a difference. But when I was in action, I was in action. And I just, really enjoyed getting to see who I was going to be talking to the next day. It was like a little bit of undercover PI, right? Going into the next day, that was Thursday, the 18th, session started. Boom, I'm having to be on set nice and early. The doors open, the crowd comes in, and it's go time, okay? So I'm having to, host and network with the crowd while they're getting everything together. And one of my ideas that came into my head as far as hosting was to walk and interact with the crowd. Get it on camera to let people know who traveled from where, who they were really, right? So where they traveled from, what their name was, and what certifications that they had. And it wasn't to belittle or demean anyone, and I'm going to tell you why. So I went around the room, and we've got this person from Pennsylvania, this person from Kentucky. There was a gentleman, I don't remember his name, who drove 10 hours overnight to be at the conference. For you, Simone, I'm not sure if you were able to hear a lot of these stories, but I definitely was doing my journalism thing and asking so many questions, right? So we had one gentleman stand up. I had no idea who he was. I had no idea who a lot of these very high in the industry, people that they were. So this one gentleman stands up and he's like, hey, my name is Ace. I'm from such and such, and I got 5 certs in 6 months, and this is what I like to do. And I'm like, whoa, what do you mean 5 certs in 6 months? He was like, yeah, I got 5 certs in 6 months. So I'm like, well, list your certs. And he listed his certs, and the crowd was just astounded at the certs that he got and the amount of time that he got. So shout out to you, Ace. Ace actually wound up winning an award. Okay, I think it was, oh my goodness, don't beat me up, Ace. I think it was groundbreaking in the tech or something like that. I'll have it correct on the screen, but Ace, shout out to you. With that being said, I don't want to deter anyone from coming who is not into tech and who also cannot get 5 certs in 6 months, because that's also just crazy. But Ace is also 23 with no kids, so he absolutely had the time to do that. We had a teacher come, and she said, hey, my name is such and such, I'm from such and such, but I don't have any certs, but I know I want to get into tech. So in order to start moving that way, I need to put myself into the rooms with the right people. So I said, well, do you know what you want to do? She answered, and there was somebody else in the crowd that said, hey, get with me, I can help you. What I will say is that I walked away, even as a host, feeling as though I was truly connected with people at this particular conference. I walked away feeling as though people were being genuine about trying to help you navigate this world. I haven't been to any other tech conferences, so I'm not shading any other tech conferences, so I don't want anybody to think that I was just a host of hers. I do want to attend other tech conferences, and hey, if you need a host, holla at me, you know what I'm saying? Hit me in a DM. All right, moving forward, so we had all day Thursday, people were in breakouts and workshops. Okay. Hi, everybody. I am here with Ashley. I actually met her the other day at the Mixer, and she was also hosting. So, how has your experience been so far at GovTech?
Well, let me let you all know we have the best host here, Bella, giving us the experience, curating the vibes, and keeping the energy going. So all throughout, having a great time. I'm loving talking to all the panelists. I'm loving networking. It's really great to just be in an environment.
That is wonderful. So what have you learned, or specifically, who have you networked with that you might be excited to work with in the future?
Ooh, that's a very good question. I think I've met so many different people in so many different ways that we can align that it's like, it's hard to kind of rank that. I mean, I would say my number one would have to be Simone.
Oh, of course.
Of course, she put the whole event together, so she's my mentor as well. I'm going to get my Security Plus, so it's been nice to actually meet her in person and connect with her. So
that's wonderful. So I was saying yesterday that just being a part of this event, for this to be her very first event compared to other conferences that I've been to, locally and traveling, how do you rate, again, I know this is a little redundant, this experience compared to other conferences, because this is her first one?
That's a very good question. Especially it being her first one, doing events is not easy at all.
Not
so
at all.
To get 100 people out, to get 1,000 people out is not easy, you know. So for Simone to be able to do that, that shows impact. That shows how much her work has actually impacted lives. That shows how much more lives there are to impact. So it's a beautiful thing because you see Black excellence, you see so many different things going on at the same time, but it's really just like cultivating relationships that last a lifetime, which make this an amazing experience overall.
Exactly. So now I'm just going to go ahead and ask you, plug all your stuff, plug whatever you do, say how you want to get hired. Talk about yourself.
All right, well, just to let you all know a little bit about myself, my name is Ashley Okoro. I have a background in digital marketing of 10 years, and I'm looking to transition over to cybersecurity. And so right now I'm going to get my Security Plus, but yeah, any digital marketing needs, let me know. I'm also a host as well, celebrity host for any major artists. Call me anytime, but yeah, definitely shout outs.
Do your social media, tell them how to see you.
Follow me on all social media at Ashley Okoro, ASHLEY OKOROH, and that's how you can find me everywhere.
And so I'm going to take her up on her offer as far as us getting together and hosting something together, because she does amazing at nightlife and I am great during the day. So I just want to say thank you, Ashley.
So we tonight?
Oh, and tomorrow. And tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Of course, anytime. I'm so grateful to have met you on top.
Same.
So shout out to
for
you.
real, like for real. Thank you. We've already been talking.
So that's y'all brand. Y'all gonna make y'all a logo with Tech ENT, and y'all go and run. I said, just let me in free for the name. That's all I want.
Got you. That's easy.
Listen, I got you. We'll network. But I want to see great things.
So I'm just going to share a few of the keynote talks that they had on the main stage. They definitely had the opening ceremony with the founder and an interview with Cam Ward with Simone and Cam. The moderator for that was Chess. Shout out to Chess. They had the 3 C's of government: civil servant, contractor, and consultant. They definitely had AWS Skill Center workshops going on simultaneously. They had Bridging the Gap, public, private, and federal sector transitions. They had Transform, Lead, Innovate. The future of federal service starts with you. Elevating cohort-based tech training with AI. Listen, that was a great keynote talk. And we go on to the U.S. Digital Corps panel. Me, Myself, and AI by Marcus Carrios. Marcus has a great personality, and he incorporates different slang, dialects from different places that he's traveled, and he incorporates that with his entire talk, and he is a great speaker himself. The next day they had some AI and security, bridging the gap for safer future, the 4 blocks of transitioning veterans. Baby, they had all kind of stuff. I don't want to bore you with that, but we're going to get into, after a long day of sessions, there was a happy hour on site. Every attendee that was there was given a free drink ticket and then there was a cash bar. At the same time, AWS was hosting a holiday happy hour. That too was free. All you had to do was RSVP. Let's talk about RSVPing a little bit, okay? So Simone had her app going at the same time. The app was amazing. When I tell you that you got real-time updates, if there were any changes to any rooms or if anything popped up that somebody was offering, it was coming straight to your phone. Not only did the app keep you up to date, if you open the app and you were around someone, you were able to open the attendees section and see who you were around, meet people, message people, get their LinkedIn information off of the app if they put it in their bio. Let's talk about that real quick. When I got home from the conference, I went through my app. I went through every VIP attendee and I went straight to their bio and I went straight to the bottom where they were supposed to put in their LinkedIn information. And I connected with every single VIP attendee. Nothing against general admission. It was just a lot to go through so many bios. Click on LinkedIn, go over to LinkedIn, click connect, follow, whatever it was, but it was a great tool to have. So I suggest anyone that's going to the conference next year, use that app to the best of your ability. You can put your work number in it, make sure you upload a picture, but definitely make sure you put your LinkedIn in because you never know who is looking for you after the conference, during the conference, and that may want to connect with you because you simply got up when I gave you the mic and said who you are and what you would like to do. So use the tools that are given to you. When I tell you that app, when I realized what that app did, baby, it also had the speakers' pictures, their name spelled correctly, so you can know who you're walking up to. You can know who you're looking for and you want to speak to, at this conference. I will say this. The keynote speakers and the people that led different workshops were so approachable. Okay, so oftentimes after their talk, I definitely had to scoot them about because so many people wanted to talk to them if they weren't able to answer, ask and or answer questions during the Q&A time allotted. They were so personable and often walked out of the conference room and were able to talk to people for an additional 10 to 20 minutes to answer questions and to help. And that's another reason why I say I believe that people at this particular conference were genuinely wanted to connect with other people and help other people. Definitely a connection, definitely felt like I needed to help people, pull them up, that it's not just me because Y'all already know how the saying goes, like, what does it mean when you're the smartest in the room? What does it mean when you're the richest in the room? Is everybody else on your chain just as smart, and is just as rich? And that's just how I felt in there. People are like, nah, we got to build this chain. Like, we need more people that look like us. And so I'm just sitting here thinking, like, if there's just 1,000 of us in this room, and there's, just a few more that, weren't able to make it because, again, sold out. What does that look like spread out all through the US? It's not a lot. So there is space in this field for you if that's something that you wanted to do. After that happy hour, people dispersed, did dinner, however they want to do it. Oh, I will say lunch on Thursday. If you were a VIP attendee, you did get free lunch on site. So I'm not sure if people were aware about that, but I ate good and it was delicious. And that was both Thursday and Friday. So if you are a VIP, you do not have to go off site to look for lunch. Two long tables of food, lines on both sides, so it went swiftly. You didn't have any issue getting any food. You didn't have any issue getting seconds if that's what you needed or whatever you needed to drink. Very nice staff at the Hyatt. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Simone for picking a great location. Moving on to Friday, I was the main stage host for the afternoon, so that allowed me to go ahead and interview some people, and you'll see that here. Okay, everybody, I am here with, you can step closer because we're using one mic. I'm standing here with Julius, and he has been an amazing VIP attendee. So my first question to you, being a VIP attendee here, have you been a VIP attendee at any other conference?
This is actually my first conference.
This is your, oh, I'm sorry.
This is actually my first conference. It's been really amazing. And I think the VIP experience is definitely worth it. It'll put you in spaces that, you know, that are exclusive to the VIP area, and at the same time you get to network with people that you may not be able to network with.
Exactly. So speaking of networking with people that you may not have been able to network with before, yesterday I went around the room, right, and I was just like, get up and brag about yourself. And so for the record, this is going on my YouTube, okay, tell everybody again who you are, list all of your accolades, and then also tell everybody how they could find you, because you just never know who's watching, who's clicking, and who's sharing.
That's true. So my name is Julius. I'm from Durham, North Carolina. I'm currently a QA tester for a bank. I'm also a bug bounty hunter. I do bug bounty hunting on the side. I'm also learning to do hardware hacking. So I do all of the good penetration stuff. That is what I really want to venture into. I'm a geek by nature. I love tech. It's a deeply passion for me. I'm also a military veteran. Go Army, beat Navy. I commissioned from Norfolk State, behold the green and gold, and I really love tech.
Speaking of Norfolk State, I don't know much about sports, but how do you feel about Mike Vick becoming the coach down there?
I'm super excited. The ticket sales about to go crazy.
They're about to go crazy. It's always amazing to have like some of our greats, right, go into that space. And what I said the other day, again, I'm not into sports. Don't y'all beat me up for anything that I say, you know, right or wrong. But I just think that all of the greats going into coaching, specifically to our HBCUs, is going to be more of a good rivalry between them, which is going to ante up the sports, right?
Absolutely. I think it's always a good thing to give back to people. It's super important. I also try to give back myself, even here at GovTechCon, right? People that are not in tech, I've been letting them know to not be discouraged, because it's definitely a good area to get into. So I'm willing to share the knowledge that I have with other people that may not have that knowledge. So it's very good to be able to network.
Thank you, Julius. And I've been saying the same thing. I was saying that everybody here has been kind. It hasn't felt forced. It hasn't felt like people were being stingy with their information at all. So, yeah, I'm enjoying myself. And I'm happy to have met you.
Yes,
You've been a gentleman the entire time, and I appreciate you for taking some time to speak to me, just for my own, you know, my private YouTube.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I really, really enjoy this space. Shout out to Bees for real, because I've been saying this for a long time. Like, I really need a space like this, and to see people that look like me and to have like-minded individuals, it's really good. Like you said, nothing is very forced. It's very genuine, and I really appreciate it. Shout out to Bees.
Shout out to Bees. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That evening was the holiday party. So the holiday party was held at Park and 14th, and everybody just went over there and had a good time.
If anybody went to an HBC revival,
the next day, let's talk about Saturday, okay? So the next day was Saturday, which was the VIP brunch, another day to network. I know it's like, gosh, she had, you know, the opening mixer, and then another happy hour, and then, you know, Friday was the holiday party, and then Saturday was the VIP brunch. But every single networking event that she had a different feel to it, although the energy was high. And when I tell you, people came dressed to impress. But I will say this, I saw some things online and I heard some things walking around, and I can proudly say that people are saying that they had some of the best dressed GovTech technology people, specifically at GovTechCon 2024. So shout out to you, Simone, for making people come dressed for success, and yeah, just putting it on, because that's how we do, for us, by us. I know I keep saying it, but if you know, you know. Anyway, so Saturday's brunch, okay, when I tell you it was a totally different vibe, it wasn't giving the vibe of Friday night. It was giving like Rock Nation brunch vibes. Like we were in there kicking it, cool, and the food again was good. This was at the Lincoln in DC. And when I tell you, people came in, sat down, mingled. The DJ was amazing. Now that was a good DJ. I'll say your two good DJs, this is just my opinion, was Schemes, and then the DJ who was at the Rock Nation, the Rock Nation brunch, okay, the Simone Nation brunch. But when I tell you that people came and they enjoyed themselves, and I've watched some other vlogs leading up to me recording mine, and I will say people did come into town earlier that never been to DC. They were able to make the most out of their trip by visiting different museums, monuments, and just going out and to see the city. And so that's how you make the best out of your trip. You know, you make sure that you get into the city that you're going to and you go. It doesn't matter if you go by yourself. You don't always have to travel with someone to have a good time. The purpose of going to these conferences is to network, build your network, build your net worth, okay? Follow me now. And just have an amazing time learning and experiencing a new city. So with that being said, I hope you guys are interested in attending the 2025 GovTechCon. Now I do have some other little tidbits to talk about. Let's get into this real quick, okay? So I do have in my phone, I do want to shout out, I did not talk about her career expo. Let's get into her career expo, okay? So Simone had the entire second floor, which was one floor above where the conference was being held.
Ask me.
Record for record.
Record for record. Let's go, okay?
I love it.
We out here. So these are the Ray-Ban Meta glasses.
right.
And what they do is they record and take pictures. Yesterday, I actually showed the videographer for the entire event, and he went and bought them yesterday. So influence me. Let me influence you.
Yeah, I like that.
Bella, you did an awesome job. We need to have you at the next GovTechCon host. We need you at every single conference.
Every single one.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am here with Shayna Lawson. I said it correct this time? Wonderful. I am very big on saying people's names correctly. So yesterday I made, a cute little announcement to get people's interest up about how I do entertainment tech. And she walked up to me and she asked me, in the midst of that conversation, she told me that she's a singer. And she's been trying to figure out ways to put it out there. So I want you to just tell everybody, I know we're here for GovTech and we're going to get into that, but I want to talk about you and your singing. And if you could just tell everybody why you're passionate about singing, how long you've been singing, and what's your latest project that you're working on.
Okay, well, so yes, I'm Shayna. Artist name Shayna Shane. Know the name. Absolutely. So I've been in music pretty much my whole life, especially my dad's side of the family. Everyone either sings, plays instruments, or both. I do both.
What instruments do you play?
Well, piano. Need some brushing up on that, but piano, and I'm learning guitar right now. I played clarinet. So trying to kind of be well versed in all instruments. The goal would be to be able to pick up any instrument and play it. So
Okay, I know that's right.
yeah. Absolutely. As far as I've taken some vocal stuff in high school, but I've never really been vocally trained. So I've always just kind of sang. So I'm working on building my craft. But right now I'm working on an R&B album currently. So.
Wonderful. And so I did ask her, I was like, what is this song about? Like, I know R&B you can be in love both ways. You can be sad in love. You can be, happy in love. And she was like, no, this one is a sad one. So last personal question, who inspired? No, not names. Like what was it, the last one? Was it the one before of that? Like, just give me a little glimpse on how you got this heartbreak to be able to produce this song.
Right. Well, I'm very much an artist that everything I've written is inspired from something from me. It definitely was a heartbreak that inspired it. And kind of going through that.
Wait, you're walking in my camera.
Going back, looking back, learning how delusional you might have been. Being in love into heartbreak, that's kind of what the album is giving.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And so now, back to business. We're at GovTechCon, and this is Simone's first conference. And so I've been asking everyone, what do you think about the conference as it being her first one? Have you attended other conferences before?
This is my first conference relating to tech. I followed Simone for a while, so shout out to Simone. Happy for her. This is amazing. Especially being a representation is important. So being around like-minded people who look like me, who are successful, it's just really encouraging as someone like me who is not even in tech currently, but trying to enter the tech field.
And so I think it's very important, sir. I think it's very important that people understand that just because that this is a tech conference, that you did not have to come and already know everything all tech. There are a lot of people that are trying to break into tech, that are trying to leave their current field and segue their transferable skills into the tech field.
Absolutely.
And so I am doing these interviews just so we can put ourselves out there so that everybody can see, because again, you never know who's watching, on what level that they're watching. And again, this is a part of, what I told you, entertainment tech. So this is the entertaining side of moving forward. What particular sector of tech would you like to get into?
So I'm trying to get into cybersecurity, looking right now into the compliance side of cybersecurity. So just kind of trying to learn the steps and the pathways I need to get to that point, but definitely trying to figure out what part of cybersecurity I can transfer the skills I already attained. So.
And my last question, or really statement to you, is tell everybody how they could find you on whatever platform. If you want to, you do all of them. Do LinkedIn, do Instagram, do everything so they can hear your music and then also come give you a job.
Absolutely. So on social media, you can do Shayna Shane. On LinkedIn, Shayna.Lawson. That's SHAINA. Last name LAWSON. Also on my email, shaina.lawson@yahoo.com. And feel free to anytime message me. I am open, even just to connect. All the information I'm ready to absorb. And if there's any value you feel like I could bring, let's talk.
Thank you so much. Can I give you a hug?
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you for letting me interview you. Everybody, that is CISA, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, clearance jobs. Simone loves promoting clearance jobs. They were there. Who else did we have? U.S. Digital Corps, Alpha Omega. Alpha Omega, and the other gentleman that closed out, he was from the FBI. They were not even allowed to have a Q&A because of how tightly secure of information systems they work on. Okay, well, just put it that way. That's the easiest way that I could say it. But Alpha Omega, I do remember that. They had AWS Security, Yellowtail Tech, Blackson Cyber, Marcon, Nuvatech, Jumpstart to Tech, DSG, eTel, Tech Hub Labs, MagnaCore, Bloomin' Brands, AWS Skill Center, SWG Solutions, NIST, SANS Institute, 427 Solutions, Alchemy Agency, BTX Foundation, 4Block, LinkedIn, Strativia, and FEMA. Let's get into LinkedIn and let's get into FEMA real quick. So LinkedIn did have a LinkedIn workshop to show you how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, how to make it the best. So recruiters can reach out to you, and sometimes you not even have to interview for a position, but it's because you, again, optimized all of their features, and that they say, oh, we just want to offer this person a position because we see their digital resume, right? They also had a headshot room where you were able to update your headshot. So shout out to LinkedIn and shout out to the photographer Dusa, who made everybody look spectacular on their first shot, honestly. Only the second shot if the lighting was off. But
yesterday, I showed you, turn it around. Yesterday, I showed him these Ray-Ban Metas that I'm recording on, and today he has the Ray-Ban Metas. I have officially influenced you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all they give you a deal. You need a deal.
I need a deal. Thank you.
9 times out of 10, he was getting your headshot on the first one. So shout out to LinkedIn. Shout out to Dusa. That was amazing. As I was working the room, a gentleman came up to me, Mr. TJ Smith. I remember you. I have your name and your number in my phone. He worked for FEMA. He said, hey, I really want to let people know that we're hiring basically on the spot. I need people to come to my booth. And not only were they hiring on the spot, he was telling me that they have a Zoom session where they allow people to come in and help them restructure their resume so that their resume is the way that the AI reads it, and that your resume won't be rejected when you apply to FEMA. So you can go to, at any time, FEMA's website and attend that session. I do know it's every second Tuesday of the month. So they have it monthly. The second Tuesday, I believe it's from 5 to 6 or 5 to 6:30. Don't quote me. Go check or just go Google FEMA resume workshop, and that will pull up all of the information for you. Shout out to all of her sponsors. Shout out to everybody on the Career Expo. More importantly, shout out to the attendees. I will say this though. It didn't matter if you were VIP or general admission, you still got your headshot taken. I will say, I have seen at some conferences, you could only get your headshot taken if you were VIP. And I really appreciate LinkedIn and Simone coming together and making sure that everyone was able to get a headshot, because sometimes you can't afford it. Sometimes headshots are expensive, okay? And I just want to say that making sure that everyone had the same opportunity, regardless of VIP and or general admission, was just amazing. So again, thank you, Simone, for the opportunity. Thank you for everyone on Simone's team that welcomed me with open arms. Morgan, shout out to you. We were on it with the stage. We were on it with the mics, and her team, oh my goodness. Simone, I want to be like you when I grow up and have an amazing team, and that's really what it does. She has curated this team around her, which has allowed her to put out an amazing conference first year out the gate. The people, again, on her team have paid so much attention to detail that you really just walk away. I know people still talking about it. You still get this dopamine effect, this high of dag. We really did have a good time over those few days. Shout out to Simone's mom. She was with her every step of the way. And I did ask Simone's mom, I was like, how you feel about watching your baby be, as amazing and successful as she is? And, she was like, it feels good. And I understand that, because when your baby, I have one, when your baby does something amazing, and that's still her baby regardless of Simone's age, when your baby does something amazing, it just kind of tighten up your chest and makes you think about everything that you went through, right, to get to where you are. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be sad things or bad things, but you remember growth is always, an amazing thing. And I could just rant on about some other stuff, but I'm not. I'm going to wrap it up. And I hope to see you guys at GovTechCon 2025. We do know it's going to be at the Gaylord. We do know that tickets are already on sale. And we do know that there are more tiers this year. So there's super VIP, okay? There's VIP, general admission, and also your student pass, which comes a little bit because we're here. What's going on, everybody? It's me. It's your girl, Bella. We are at GovTechCon in Arlington, Virginia, and I'm here with...
You're here with Shay McKay.
Shay McKay. Shay was just telling me how I did a good job hosting and how I did a good job commanding the floor. You want to tell us some more?
Oh man, you know, you're a general, you're a people person, you know how to evoke emotion and also how to transition the commentary to the next event. You know how to do it perfectly.
I appreciate that so much. So you're new to tech.
Yep, I am.
Okay, and so what are you looking to gain, or what have you already gained here at GovTechCon?
The number one thing I gained is community, a sense of being represented in an industry where I felt like I was a minority. So it's a beautiful thing to be a part of this population.
And so where are you traveling from, if you're traveling at all?
I live in DC.
Okay, you're a Washingtonian.
I'm a Washingtonian.
Oh, we love that. We love that. I'm from Upper Marlboro. So people keep saying DMV, and I was like, no, I'm from Maryland, but good. Good. So what are you looking forward for today's events?
Today I'm just looking for more insight on how to kind of break into this industry, what certs to get, you know, and maybe some job opportunities if that lies ahead of me.
Same. I want something. I'm like, hire me again, Simone, and everybody else. Yes, I'll be sending out my resume. So I was talking to the gentleman from FEMA, and he said that they have a resume writing class, which is formatted specifically for their like AI to read your resume. You can take your same stuff and just drop it in that format. However, it's free and it's online. So that's just a little tidbit for you.
I love it. I'm actually going to take it and run with it.
So am I. So I just want to say thank you for joining me. He was saying how great I was.
As an MC.
Yeah.
Of course. She's crushing it.
Yeah, I am, right? Say it to my camera.
She's crushing it, even if I have no voice.
Right? Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Bella.
Bye.
Appreciate you. You're the best.
Thank you.
That was fun.
See you at GovTech 2025 in Oxon Hill, Maryland at the Gaylord Convention Center.